Hey guys, Jay here. I'm here today to do a book haul. I haven't done a book haul since December of last year, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with the books that publishers sent to me. The first one being Firstborn by Will Dean. Sisters, soulmates, strangers. My twin sister knew me better than anyone. We were identical. We never been apart until now. The police are searching for the truth about her death, and so am I, because there are some things only a twin can know. The last thing a twin expects to be is alone. This book comes out on July 5th of this year, so I'm excited to read this. And it's from Simon & Schuster. The other book that Simon & Schuster also sent is Moonlight and the Pearler's Daughter by Lizzie Pook. For readers of The Light Between Oceans and The Island of Sea Women, a novel set against the backdrop of the dangerous pearling industry in 19th century Australia, about a young woman's journey to discover the truth behind her father's disappearance at sea. Western Australia, 1886. After months at sea, a steamboat completes its passage from London to the shores of Bannon Bay. From the deck, young Eliza Brightwell and her family eye their strange new home. Here is an unforgiving land where fortune sits patiently at the bottom of the ocean, waiting to be claimed by those brave enough to venture into its depths. An ocean where pearl shells bloom to the size of soup plates, where men are coaxed into unspeakable acts by the promise of unimaginable riches. 10 years later, the pearl diving boat captained by Eliza's father returns at the end of the season without him on it. Whispers from townfolk point to mutiny or murder. Headstrong Eliza knows it's up to her to discover who or what is really responsible. As she searches for the truth, Eliza finds that beneath the glamorous veneer of the pearling industry lies a dark underbelly of sweltering, stinking decay. The sun-scorched streets of Bannon Bay, a place she once thought she knew so well, are teeming with corruption, prejudice, and blackmail. Just how far is Eliza willing to push herself in order to solve the mystery of her missing father? And what family secrets will come to haunt her along the way? That sounds really exciting. This book comes out on June 14th of this year. Okay. I ordered a few books off of Amazon. One no one's talked about on here, and it's one of my absolute favorites. And this is where I'm going to show you what it is. This book is by a local author from close to my hometown in North Carolina. It's The Writer by Big Adam. Born as the result of a rape, the writer goes through life questioning God about his existence upon this earth. A sadistic nympho is out to destroy him. A stranger off the street shows the writer life as he never expected it before. But then an oar becomes a deadly weapon. If you guys have not read this book yet, you need to get your hands on it now. It's a really good book. Okay. The next two books are from another one of my favorite authors. This author is another auto by author for me. It's Nicholas Sparks. I got The Return in 3 weeks with my brother. The Return. Trevor Benson never intended to move back to New Bern, North Carolina. But when a mortar blast outside the hospital where he worked had sent him home from Afghanistan with devastating injuries, the dilapidated cabin he'd inherited from his grandfather seemed a good place to regroup as any. Tending to his grandfather's beloved beehives, Trevor isn't prepared to fall in love with a local. Yet, from their very first encounter, Trevor feels a connection with Deputy Sheriff Natalie Masterson that he can't ignore. But even as she seems to reciprocate his feelings, she remains frustratingly distant, making Trevor wonder what she's hiding. Further complicating his stay in New Bern is the presence of a sullen teenage girl, Callie, who lives in a trailer park down the road. Trevor hopes Callie can shed light on the mysterious circumstances of his grandfather's death, but she offers few clues, until a crisis triggers a race to uncover the true nature of Callie's past, one more intertwined with the elderly man's passing than Trevor could ever have imagined. In his quest to unravel Natalie's and Callie's secrets, Trevor will learn the true meaning of love and forgiveness, and that in life, to move forward, we must often return to the place where it all began. It sounds really good. Okay, on to 3 weeks with my brother. In January 2003, Nicholas Sparks and his brother Micah set off on a 3-week trip around the globe. It was to mark a milestone in their lives, for at 37 and 38 respectively, they were now the only surviving members of their family. Against the backdrop of the wonders of the world and often overtaken by their feelings, Daredevil Micah and the more serious, introspective Nicholas recalled their rambunctious childhood adventures and the tragedies that tested their faith. And in the process they discovered startling truths about love, loss, and hope. As moving as his best-selling work of fiction, Nicholas Sparks' unique memoir, written with his brother, chronicles the life-affirming journey of two brothers bound by memories, narrated with irrepressible humor and rare candor, and including personal photos. 3 weeks with my brother reminds us to embrace life with all its uncertainties, and most of all, to cherish the joyful times, both small and momentous, and the wonderful people who make them responsible. The last book I ordered off Amazon was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is a fantasy novel. and it's the first Sarah J. Maas book I've ever read, and I really, really enjoyed it. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything has a purpose. You were meant to come to this castle, just as you are meant to be an assassin. When magic has gone from the world and the vicious king rules from his throne of glass, an assassin comes to the castle. She does not come to kill, but to win her freedom. If she can defeat 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition to find the greatest assassin in the land, she will become the king's champion and be released from prison. Her name is Selena Sardothian. The crown prince will provoke her. The captain of the guard will protect her. And the princess from a foreign land will become the one thing Selena never thought she'd have again, a friend. But something evil dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying, horribly, one by one, Selena's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival, and a desperate quest to root out the source of evil before it destroys her world. And it's really, really good. She is my favorite character of this series. Okay. Most of these books I got from Goodwill. And some I got from a local library. Some I got from the local Little Free Library. In no particular order. I got The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. She also wrote The Night Circus. Far beneath the surface of the earth, upon the source of the starless sea, there is a labyrinth collection of tunnels and rooms filled with stories. The entryways that lead to this sanctuary are often hidden, sometimes on the forest floors, sometimes in private homes, sometimes in plain sight. But those who seek will find. Their doors have been waiting for them. Okay, I'm not going to read any more on that. It just sounds. I can't wait to get to this one already. On to the next one. Also, some of these books I got from a local Dollar Tree. Questions I Want to Ask You by Michelle Falkoff. Dear Patrick, the letter begins. I scan down to see who it's from. That's when the day starts to get weird. The signature reads, Love, Mom. For most people, that would be a perfectly normal thing to see. Reasonable, even. But not for me. For me, those words are impossible. My mother is dead. It sounds interesting. Just by the synopsis. I got Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And I got Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. Also got The Lost Night by Andrea Bartz. It just looks like it'd be interesting by the title. I got The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. She also wrote Station 11. I have not read that either. This will be the first book I read by her. I got The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown. This is a nonfiction. 9 Americans and their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The next book I have is Fallen by Lauren Kate. It's about fallen angels and demons. It's so good. And so is the movie. I recommend reading the book first. That way you know whether it's close or not to the book for the movie. But it's a really good book. I got Mosaic by Erin. Pieces of My Life So Far. Her music is so good. I got the final book in the Sookie Stackhouse series, Dead Ever After by Charlene Harris. About vampires. I got The Ghost's Grave by Peg Kehret. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but decided to read this as it looks cute. I got The Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly. Historical fiction. I got 2 Nancy Drew books. The Clue in the Crossword Cipher by Carolyn Keene and Nancy's Mysterious Letter. And I got The Clue of the Screeching Owl about the Hardy Boys by Franklin W. Dixon. I got I Have No Secrets by Penny Jolson. I believe this is a thriller. And I'm excited to read it because I love a good thriller. I got The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. I got another Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. My favorite book of the series. I got Daughter of Smoke and Bone. It's book 1 of the Grisha trilogy by Laini Taylor. The Cuckoo's Calling, which is book 1 in this series by Robert Galbraith. And I got Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I got The Final Warning by James Patterson. Book 1 of the Protectors. Maximum Ride series. Gone Too Far by Natalie D. Richards. Chrysalis by Brandon Reach. Like the Red Panda by Andrea Siegel. The Boy from the Basement by Susan Shaw, a nonfiction. The Storyteller's Secret by Sejal Badani. I don't know if I'm pronounced this author right, but I'm excited to read this one. The Speed of Life by Carol Weston. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is a epic historical fiction. I have Scythe, this is the first book in this series by Neil Schusterman. I got Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Is also a movie, but I'm planning to read the book first before I watch that movie. The Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook. I liked this book. It's got a couple of sentences from each chapter where each recipe goes. It's super cool. I got A Perfect Mistake. It's a privilege novel by Kate Bryan. Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment, which is book 1 of The Fugitives by James Patterson. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I love this book and I love the movie. Both are 5-star reads for me. If you have not read that book, or I just mentioned, or watched the movie, you need to. I got the Iliad by Homer. Excited to read this classic. Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips. I got Goldie. A Lotus Grows in the Mud. This book is by Goldie Hawn with Wendy Holden. She is one of my favorite actresses. I got The Guardian Interviews by Michael Clary. It's got 3 books in one. The Guardian, The Regulators, and Broken. It seemed interesting. I got the Screen Queens by Lori Goldstein. Too Close to Breathe by Olivia Kiernan. The Things We Do for Love by Kristen Hanna. She is the author for me. I love her books. And I got The Murder List by Hank Philippi Ryan. I got book 2 of the Fugitives series, School's Out Forever by James Patterson. And I got Steel Trap, The Challenge by Ridley Pearson. I got 2 more books to show you guys. Hold on just a second. Okay, the last 2 books I have to show you is Fallen Angels by Walter Dean Myers and The Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan. This is book 1, The Ruins of Garland. Have you read any of the books that I mentioned? If so, let me know down below which one I should read first and what you thought of each or one of the books that I mentioned in this video. I hope you guys are doing well. If y'all have any video suggestions that you'd like to see on my channel, please let me know down below in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you push that bell button to know when I upload my next video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.